Digimon Adventure episode 63 truly feels like the beginning of the end in a very good way, setting us up for effectively a 3-part finale by giving our final Digidestined his crest, revealing the truth about how the ancient war actually ended, and telling us what will be necessary to stop the Great Catastrophe. Welcome to the DIGIKNOW. We are about to recap everything we learned and review episode 63, so if you're new here and that sounds good, do me a favor, and if you make it to the end of the video and you enjoyed it, leave a like and do subscribe so you can be here for the next 3 weeks as we finish out this Digimon Adventure 2020 journey. This week brought Taichi, Sora, and their Digimon to a mysterious castle that is guarded by Nightmon, but the team appears to have full access to the interior and can walk right past him. We learn through the spiritual remains of Valkyriemon, one of the warriors in the Holy War, that this castle actually served as a meeting grounds for the ancient warriors. This I love. I can see so easily the ancient warriors like Seraphimon and Ophanimon and Wargreymon all gathered around planning upcoming strategies for the war, like the Knights of the Round Table. This is exactly the type of lore I was looking for in last week's Shakomon episode. Taichi asks this Valkyriemon what is required to defeat the catastrophe, but before he can finish the sentence, he's impaled by an energy beam in the shape of a sword and transported to this dark world where he encounters a tiny Digimon who OG adult fans know to be Agamon's earliest form, but this was definitely one of those moments where I wish I was a kid again watching this for the first time, because I can imagine the reveal at the end that Taichi was protecting Agamon all along would have been extremely cool if you didn't know what was coming. But Taichi begins protecting Botamon without knowing who he is, and it's clear that this is all part of a test. Taichi is effectively having to show that he can do for Digimon what Digimon have been doing for him, which is to say, be the big protector that keeps the helpless one safe. We see Tai fight through a few challenges that are great callbacks to the series, like when he and Sora were going down the river in episode 4, or when Taichi saved Lopmon from the burning forest just before the Wargreymon debut. It was a great trip down memory lane that was well needed as we approached the end of the series. More than once, Taichi puts his life on the line for this little Botamon, demonstrating legitimate courage in the face of despair, but the farthest it gets is Taichi surrounded by a group of Alamon after he tells Botamon to go on without him, that they're friends now, and that he'll do anything if it's for his friends. Sure, there is big, Shonen Jump protagonist energy here, but this stuff really did work for me, because this is the Tai that we know and love since 1999. In this moment, Botamon has this transformation sequence that is just incredible. If you remember the first episode where we got that one-off Agumon to Greymon evolution, this is even cooler than that, and it almost certainly was a callback to the original Digimon movie with the big Agumon and red Greymon. Just the way he was drawn here was completely different than how he's been drawn in the show's style guide up until now. It was right out of that 1999 short film, and it was fantastic. And then beyond that, we get a direct visual callback to the end credits of the Digimon Adventure short, which is just, are you kidding me? It's such a good callback. The only downside of this is that it makes me wish there was more visual callbacks to the legacy adventure media in this show. Not to say there weren't, but this stuff was so 11 out of 10 for me in terms of hitting the right notes while not overdoing it with the nostalgia. It was just awesome. So with courage on full display, we come out of the dark world, and Valkyriemon provides some well-needed information about the Holy War, how that battle came to an end, and how we can apply that knowledge to the Great Catastrophe. First off, we get some unbelievably cool stills of the battle that are just so rich in lore. Like for a second you see Samudramon, which is like the samurai version of Black Wargreymon fighting in the battle. It's nuts, and again, giving me exactly what I hoped to see in episode 52. But we learned that Ophanimon and Seraphimon were the real keys to stopping Millenniummon in that original battle, and it was their power fused with ancient Wargreymon and ancient Metalgarurumon's will to conquer evil that caused those two to become one, to become Omegamon. Quote, whether injured or fallen in battle, the Digimon's hearts that wished to conquer evil for peace became one. In that moment, the warrior souls gathered and became the being with great power, causing a miracle. And in this era as well, the great power has already appeared twice by the chosen children's hands. It is the very last light, the ultimate miracle that could even overturn the end of the world. The key to activating the great power is the heart, humans, Digimon. If a multitude of hearts pray, that will surely become the key to overcoming the approaching catastrophe. While all of this is being said, we're getting these incredible images of the Holy Digimon, the War, Millenniummon, and Omegamon, which you should be seeing on screen. I should have that up on the video. And with that, Taichi's crest activates on his Digivice, and all 8 chosen children now have their crests popping. It's basically go time. This was a fantastic episode in my opinion. I can't think of any real issues with this one. Taichi and Botamon's stuff was great. Having the roles reversed so that Taichi is the protector and having that be the exam to test his courage was really smart writing for me. The Greymon evolution was not just beautiful to look at, but also beautiful as a callback. That is probably going to be a top 10 moment in this 2020 series for me. Plus, all of the Holy War revelations in the final minutes sort of answered unsolved questions and set us up in a great place to have 3 more episodes as a climactic finale battle. And the good news is, looking at the preview, we're going right into it. This preview for episode 54 looks extremely dense with action and plot advancements. It's not like we're going from 100 to 0 and going into this like filler, casual, jokey episode before the final showdown. No, it looks like next week it's go, go, go. Quote, "The worst enemy has made a move. Amid their most dangerous crisis yet, the Chosen One's biggest battle begins. Next time, the Angel's determination." The fact that we may even see Seraphimon appear next week is pretty huge considering there are 2 more episodes after that as far as we know. We also see Agamon and Ghoulmon/Deathmon, which is pretty huge. Side note, does anyone else think this Ghoulmon shot looks like the Tri art style? It's pretty cool. I don't think Ghoulmon is the final villain, or at least not the final form of the final villain, especially since we had that reveal of a new nightmarish enemy in the V-Jump magazine last week. But yeah, the Avengers are all assembling, the enemies are gathering, and if we truly have a 3-part finale in the same scale and budget as the 3-part intro to the series, I'm gonna be really happy. My biggest wish is that we spend some part of this finale in the real world, because I do believe Digimon just isn't Digimon without a real world component, but that's just me. Let me know in the comments what you want to see in these remaining episodes, and of course what you thought about this episode. Did you love it like I did, or was there an issue you had that I didn't really touch on? That's gonna do it. As always, thanks for watching. I'm going to be reading all of your comments because I just adored this episode. I want to hear what everyone has to say about it. 3 weeks to go and Leomon is still alive, so let's keep praying that he makes it out of this in one piece. But yeah, take it easy and I will see you in the next video.